everyone, this is Maki. A very unique figurine was announced today, so let's analyze it. It's the Trion 3 from Cho Gokin Spirits. This is a Gundam that appeared in Gundam Build Fighters Tri. The anime is about fighting with custom-made Gunpla models. Its appearance is very interesting, and some might think that it was made as a joke. However, the Trion 3 actually inherits the tradition of the Gundam series. Let's start the analysis right away. Press the submit button and start the combo action. Let's try. The Gundam series is often categorized as a real robot. This term doesn't have a strict definition and is more of a slang word used among fans. It describes the use of theories that make the robots seem like they could exist in reality, even though it's fiction. On the other hand, there is the term super robot. This refers to robot anime that emphasizes coolness and impact. For example, the Gundam series often designs mobile suits with detailed roles and structures for each tiny part. Of course, works in the super robot genre also often have detailed settings. It's not about strict definitions, but more about how these terms are used based on feelings. The original Gundam was meticulously created with a detailed setting of the world and military technology. This was very refreshing because works before Gundam often lacked such settings. However, the background of being called real robot also includes the fact that many people had already created the super robot genre. The methods of the super robot genre had been established, which led to the birth of the real robot genre as a counterpart. The fact that Gundam, born out of this background, took on a form similar to super robots indicates that the genes of the great ancestors were incorporated. Did Gundam get rid of super robot elements completely in its production? Not at all. The original director of Gundam, Yoshiyuki Tomino, valued artistic expression, but also respected the ideas of sponsors. The sponsor wanted to sell toys that could combine and transform. Tomino seriously considered the idea of introducing robots that could combine and transform. This led to the creation of the concept, where the Gundam is completed by combining parts with the cockpit block, known as the co-fighter. The G-Fighter is a fighter plane that can combine with the Gundam to transform into various forms. The G-Fighter's toy-like appearance divided fans during its original broadcast. In the movie version of the original Gundam, the G-Fighter was replaced by a fighter called the Booster. So did Tomino dislike the toy-like appearance? Not necessarily. Although he sometimes made comments in interviews that indicated a dislike for such appearances, I don't think he really hated them. Why not? Because in Gundam Double Zeta, the transformation and combination mechanism of the G-Fighter was incorporated into the main mobile suit, the Double Zeta Gundam. Although Gundam is often referred to as a real robot, Tomino also actively incorporated super robot elements. This approach resulted in the Double Zeta Gundam, which became the basis for the design of Trion 3. Trion 3 may look very outlandish, but the element of fusion of real robot and super robot is a traditional aspect of the Gundam series. Trion 3 is a combination of three mechas. First, we have Riku Trion, who excels in ground combat. Riku means ground in Japanese. Next, there's Sora Trion, who excels in aerial combat. Sora means sky in Japanese. Finally, we have Umi Trion, who specializes in underwater combat. Umi means sea in Japanese. While Umi Trion is strong in underwater combat, it can also fight in the air. These three mechas combine to form the Trion 3. The 3 signifies the combination of the 3 mechas, but it has more significance. Yoshiyuki Tomino, the director, has created other robot anime with 3 in the name, such as Zambot 3 and Daitan 3. Zambot 3 is a robot created by combining 3 mechas. Daitan 3 is a robot that can transform into 3 different forms. The white-faced battleship from the original Gundam was originally designed using the enemy mecha from Daitan 3. The number 3 symbolizes the history of Yoshiyuki Tomino's works. Let's also take a look at the word Trion. It's a combination of tri, which means 3, and lion, which is pronounced in Japanese. Also, Gundam Double Zeta is the 30V anime in the Gundam series. The word really represents a rich history. Trion 3 has not only the strengths of a super robot, but also the delicacy of a real robot. In the build series, the performance of a mobile suit is determined by the level of completion of the gunpowder. Yumako Saka pointed out that because of the combination of 3 mechas, Trion 3 could potentially have reduced strength. However, thanks to the skills of its creator, Minato Sakai, this weakness is not present. Trion 3 uses powerful combat techniques such as the armed booster, where it launches its arm to hit the enemy, and the heat wing, where it slashes enemies with wings attached to its arms. Despite these intense battles, it never broke or malfunctioned. In addition, in the build series, well-built gunpowder can use special systems. Special devices such as the Transam system can only be activated by well-built gunpowder. A key feature of Trion 3 is its ability to harness the power of all 3 mechas engines simultaneously. Fumina Hoshino was amazed and said even before they are combined, they have considerable power. Through delicate craftsmanship, she gained the ability to use the powerful engines of 3 mechas at once. However, because it consumes a large amount of energy for its powerful weapons, it has the weakness of quickly running out of energy. Cho Gokin's Trion 3 comes with distinctive weapons. The boomerang stagger uses the antenna on its head as a boomerang. The armed booster not only launches the arm, but can also be delicately controlled like the all-range weapons in the Gundam series. It also includes the Cho Gokin Hyperminovsky Trizan. Cho means super, Ho means the roar of a beast like a lion, and Zan means to cut with a sword. Trion 3, which embodies the genes of both real robots and super robots, represents both tradition and challenge. It's great that it's a general retail product and not a premium Bandai exclusive. In Japan, pre-orders will begin on June 3, 2024. Release is scheduled for November 2024. The price will be around $255. Please note that the schedule may vary by region. Prices may also fluctuate due to currency exchange rates. Thank you for watching to the end. See you next time.